All right, let's talk about something called the selection effect. It's a really powerful idea, and honestly, it might just change the way you look at a challenge forever. It's all about why leaning into the struggle is where you find your biggest wins.
You know that feeling, right? We've all been there. You hit a point where there's this crushing weight on your chest, and every single part of you is screaming, just stop. But what if I told you that feeling, that exact feeling, isn't a stop sign? What if it's a secret signal telling you to push even harder?
So that point of maximum friction, that moment you want to quit, we're going to call that the wall of misery. And the most important thing to understand is that this wall, it isn't built to stop you. It's built to stop everybody else.
And that is the absolute key. When things get soul-crushingly hard, most people think, oh, this is a red flag, I took a wrong turn, so they quit, they turn back. But the truth is, that feeling is a massive filter. It's designed specifically to weed out your competition.
Think about it like this. The difficulty is actually a gift. It creates this box of misery where almost everyone else just throws in the towel. So if you're the one person who's willing to stay in that box, to keep fighting, well, suddenly you have no competition. The very thing that feels like a curse becomes your greatest advantage.
This whole idea leads us to the main event, the selection effect. This is the secret, the mental key that unlocks everything, and it shows you how to turn what feels like pain into your own personal source of power.
So what is the selection effect? It's when you finally recognize that immense difficulty is the ultimate filter separating the dedicated from the crowd. And here's where it gets kind of wild. Once you really get this, you actually start to get happier as things get harder. Why? Because you know you're walking into a room that almost nobody else is willing to enter.
You know, this really gets to a core lie we've all been sold. Society teaches us that we should want safety and comfort above all else, but that's just not true. Deep down, we are built for maximal challenge. The deepest, most lasting sense of value we get in life comes from the struggle, from the climb, not from chilling at the bottom of the mountain.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do you actually use this when you're staring at that wall and you feel like giving up? Let's get practical. Let's break down the 3-step toolkit for mastering the friction.
Here are the 3 pillars that hold this all up. First, a total mental reframe of how you see challenges. Second, taking extreme ownership of your entire situation. And third, learning to embrace something we'll call the lonely chapter.
All right, step 1. And this one is a real game changer. The second things get brutally hard, I want you to stop thinking poor me. I want you to completely flip the script and think poor everyone else. Seriously. Pity the people who have to compete against you because you're the one who's willing to do what they won't.
And that is how you take your power back. When the obstacles, the dragons, get bigger and scarier, that's your cue to actually smile. You know why? Because you know you're walking a path so difficult that no one else is brave enough to follow you into that fire. Look, pain is just the down payment for a life that's actually worth living.
Step 2, extreme ownership. You have to look in the mirror and accept that if your life isn't where you want it to be, it's on you. And you know what? That's amazing news, because if you're the problem, that means you're also the solution. Stop waiting around for motivation to strike. Motivation is fickle. It comes and goes. Discipline is what gets you up when you're sore, tired, and don't feel like it. It's a lifestyle.
Which leads right into step 3, the lonely chapter. Now look, this is a season. It's not forever. It could be a few months, maybe longer, but you have to be willing to disappear. Cut out the noise, delete the distractions, and just beat on your craft while everyone else is out partying or scrolling. You're not resting, you're building. So, you do all this. You do the reframe. You take ownership. You put in the focused work. What's the payoff? Well, you earn the ultimate prize, an unshakable belief in yourself.
And listen, this isn't that cheap confidence you get from saying affirmations to yourself in the mirror. No, this is built belief. It's the real deal, forged in the fire. It's that deep, quiet confidence that you can only earn by stacking up proof, by watching yourself day after day do the things you once thought were impossible. And that belief, it starts to snowball. It kicks off something called the Matthew Principle. It means that even if you start with these tiny, almost embarrassingly small actions, you just keep going. You get that ball rolling, and pretty soon, momentum just takes over.
And here's something you have to remember. Your progress is not going to be a nice, neat, straight line. It's geometric. For what feels like a really long time, you're going to feel like you're going nowhere. And then, all of a sudden, boom!
the growth becomes exponential. That's the power of the momentum you built in the dark.
Okay, so that brings us to the final part. And honestly, it's the only part that really matters. It's all about what you do next. Because this climb, it doesn't start tomorrow or next week. It starts right now.
So I'm asking you, straight up, what's your move today? Are you going to keep talking about the things you want, keep making excuses for why you don't have them, or are you going to take one small, real, concrete step forward?
It really is that simple. Just stop whispering about how next year is going to be my year. Stop it. No more excuses. The only thing that matters is this: execute the day. Just win today. That's the whole game.
Don't tell me your plans. Don't tell me your big goals. The world is absolutely full of people who talk a good game. The proof is in what you do. Show yourself, and by doing that, show the world that you got it done.
That wall of misery is out there waiting for you. And remember, it's a filter that's designed to stop other people. So when you see it, smile and walk right through it. All right, let's get to work. I'll see you at the top.